So something I wanted to show off is, first of all, the replay feature, and kind of just do a quick game analysis to show you how I approach playing my current deck. To quickly show you the deck, let's go ahead and go in. I call it Spellhai because it's a pretty standard Songhai spell deck. 2 Inner Focus, 1 Juxtapose, 2 Mana Vortex, 3 Blood Rage Mask, 3 Saberspine Seal, 1 Blood Tear Alchemist, 3 Chakra Avatar, 2 Ephemeral Shroud, which, by the way, this has got to be one of the best tech cards in the lower tiers right now, even in upper tiers, and you're about to see why. 3 Healing Mystic, because it's Healing Mystic. Excuse me, I can scroll. 2 Mist Dragon Seal, 3 Phoenix Fire, 3 Tuskspore, 3 Lantern Fox, 2 Onyx Bear Seal, 2 Four Winds Magi, 2 Heaven's Eclipse, and 2 Spiral Technique. So there's the deck. You'll get to see a good portion of this in action. And we're going to go to, oops, wrong thing. We're going to go to Profile. And you can go over here to Match History, see your previous matches. As you can see, I'm on a 4-game win streak. I've lost 2 of my last 10 games, I think. We'll go to the replay. And the thing is, those losses really do feel like I could have looked at something and said, oh, wait, what if I do this, and would have won it. So, we see my opening hand. I've got 3 spells. I'm going to mull all 3 of these because I don't have a turn 1 play that does anything. I have no interaction whatsoever. I don't even have a Phoenix Fire to, like, remove my opponent's turn 1 play if it's some major threat. So, this is junk. I'm going to junk it. I don't want real time. No, I don't know. Well, I haven't messed with the replay system too much. So he goes, he makes his play. You'll notice I got a terrible freaking hand still. This is not good. This is all trash. So I'm going to, once again, ship one of these off. Obviously the second Eclipse. And oh, look, I hit my 2-drop. So that's kind of important to realize, is that you've got to mull aggressively. I didn't keep any of those cards because it's like, however good one of those cards might be, Saberspine Seal, great card for Songhai, it's more important to have a 2-drop. So rather than worry about, well, what could I do in 2 turns, I'm worried about what can I do in my very next turn. So I got rid of 3 cards and then got rid of a 4th, so I got to go dig 4 cards deep. Well, basically, yeah, dig 4 cards deep to find my 2-drop. And there it is, and now I have a play. So I'm going to go up, I think, yep. And now I have a decision, which is, do I want to play on the mana tile? Just to deny it from my opponent so they can't do something crazy? Or do I want to play somewhere near the mana tile, either to aggressively, pursue this, or just to set up for taking 2 mana tiles in the next turn? Against some factions, I would absolutely just take this mana tile to deny it. Against Songhai, that's dropped a Heartseeker turn 1, I might not. I don't remember what I do. Yeah, I think yeah. Okay, I don't bother. Heal your opponent, because, good manners. Again, I'm getting kind of a crap draw. None of this does anything right now. My hand is full of stuff that's later, and I don't want later, I want now. And the other reason I'm showing this, by the way, is because the opponent's deck is, I think, a common, like, oh, these cards look cool, I'll play these. So at first, I still kind of think my opponent is maybe doing something I haven't seen before. So he very quickly removes my unit. I should have known he would do that. That was sort of a mistake to... Well, I at least got 2 damage on him, but that was, so I wish I had denied the mana tile, just because he could have maybe done something clever, and I should have known that the Healing Mystic was going to get removed if he's remotely decent because of this Heartseeker. He should have moved the Heartseeker onto a mana tile, or back here at least, though. That's a misplay. So, I've got junk again. Like, I can make plays here. My main concern is this. I don't recall this effect existing. I'm pretty sure this did something else the last time I played. I don't know what it does. I'm assuming he's built his deck around it, so I'm going to do my best to try and make sure it doesn't exist by the end of this turn. So I ship off the 7-drop. Oh, what do you know? I get the pig. I screw this up, I believe. What should I have done? In short, I wanted the pig to attack. Like, I probably should have gone down here, put the pig here, moved up, attacked this, and then I could have pandoed this. So that would be 2 mana for the pig here, puts me up to 5 mana, picking up the orb, 3 mana to get rid of this, and that way I basically clear his board. I didn't think it through. I thought I could do it another way. So instead I go up here, drop the pig, and then I go, oh wait, I can't do what I wanted to, so I Onyx Bear Sealer anyways, and now I can't remove the Heartseeker. So I go, well, you know what, at least I'll get 3 damage on him. He's obviously going to get to remove the pig for free with the Heartseeker, and then I hit him. Understanding if you're the beatdown, especially a Songhai or Spellhai, is super, super important. Take attacks on the enemy general if you've got a hand that you think is high tempo. Or in this match, I've identified he's playing like weird one-drop, low-curve creatures and doing some janky combo nonsense. So I want him dead before any of that does anything. If it was a more traditional Songhai list, I would have maybe not done that attack. But since I've got more health, I want to trade my health for his health. It keeps the tempo going. So he goes and takes the mana tile. He's up at 6 mana or 5 mana. Gets the free kill. Okay, Lady Locke. I think this card is kind of a trap. You look at this and you go, oh wow, 2/3 for 3 with, give other minions to summon this turn +1/+1 and provoke. And provoke's like really cool, right? So first of all, provoke is not as good as it seems. There are a lot of ways in this game for each faction to get around provoke. Do not assume that if you're fortressed up in your little provoke bubble that you're safe. There's just so many different ways, especially against Spellhai as I'm running it, to just murder you without ever having to get next to you. So be very careful with this card. And if you don't have a card to follow this up with, like a 1-drop or a 2-drop, like on 3 mana, this sucks. As a 3-drop, this is just terrible. It doesn't do anything. You have to have another card to get value. So while there are some decks that I think that can get use out of this, this guy's built his deck kind of around cheap 1-drops and a certain card in Songhai, which I think maybe there is a deck here, but you're going to see some of the weaknesses of it. So, plays a 1-drop. Now it's a 3/2 flying. That's a good play. Gets it out there so he's flexible. Gets a, 1/4 1-drop with provoke. That seems like it's good, right? And now it's my turn. So, I'm going to Blood Tier Alchemist to kill this stupid Heartseeker, because I should have killed it earlier. This is why I love Blood Tier Alchemist. Just simple removal like that. And I'm going to Boar next to the Blood Tier, and just kill the Lady Locke. Now, I put the Boar here because, in theory, I don't want him to be able to clear the Boar with this, basically. I want to make sure he has to either use this or his general to clear the Boar. I don't want the Boar to be like over here where his cheap little provoke creature can efficiently hit the Boar. So always be thinking about where can you put your things to force them to use what you want them to use. So Boar gets the hit, clears Lady Locke. I replace my Heaven's Song because, again, it's not doing anything right now. Obviously, it could do something next turn. I could, be on 6 mana. I can play it. But I'm probably not going to want to spend a bunch of spells buffing these guys or whatnot. I want something else. Always be cycling your stuff. You'll find better things. Don't overthink it and be like, well, what is the, getting rid of this or that? Just ditch something. When in doubt, ditch something. All right. So I get my Spiral Technique and my Mist Dragon Seal. Okay, so this is the card, Ancestral Divination. It's a 1-mana spell for Songhai. Every time he plays a creature this turn, he'll draw a card. So his hand, he's got 3 cards. This is, again, he's playing some low-curve, 1-drop thing where he tries to draw his deck and maybe combo out. I don't know if such a deck really exists. I'm not sure what creatures you want to run to do this. I've seen it with, there's a 2-drop that gains 2 attack every time you drop a creature, so I would see that as very important, because with especially Songhai, you can drop it somewhere safe and then teleport it over to your opponent after dropping like 6 creatures and just murder them. But either way, you'll see what happens. So, plays a Heartseeker. I don't love that. He's probably moving this to take care of the Boar, but, it's good enough. Plays another Entangler. Now, this is just a 0/3 provoke. That's not a very good card. That's just a waste. Now, you've got me double provoked. It would probably have been better to put this over here to provoke also my Blood Tier Alchemist, because you could have gone diagonally. You want to provoke as many things as you can, because remember, your opponent can spawn based on where they can move their units. So he's giving me more flexibility to spawn in more places because I have these 2 units. Now, he might be planning on killing them, but even still, blocking off more routes. I can't move diagonally because I'm provoked diagonally through units. So if he goes here, I can no longer move to that spot, which might be important. Little things. And then he drops a Mobius. Again, I don't love the positioning. That one's probably fine. So he moves there, opens up this, trades that out. I don't think that's a great play. I'm not going to nitpick everything he does to death because it's too much. So my turn, ship the Spiral Technique away, because again, it was a card that was going to do nothing. It's 7 mana. I can't play it right now. Sure, I can play it next turn. Am I going to be within 8 damage next turn? No, not with the hand I had. So that's the only thing I thought of, so it's the worst card, so I replace it. I now have this. This is where you're going to see how great Ephemeral Shroud is. It can dispel the provokes, it can dispel the buffs, it can dispel, this thing. It's just really stupid good. So I believe I dispel the provoke, because I just want to have a body on board. So now that's a 0/3, who cares? I hit him in the face. I play this guy, again, trying to get him somewhere sort of safe, away from the Mobius. Everything else on this board can pretty much hit him, or can't hit him. So I might as well get him as far away from the Mobius, so he has to trade with one of these or use this. So play him. That's all my mana, that's my turn, and now I have a pretty good setup. I have 3 spells in my hand, this one draws more spells. I have a guy on the board who gives me a ton of value from those spells, and is representing 4 damage, putting him down to 9, with at least 5 in hand, maybe 6, 7, or 5, 6 in hand if this lives, so like, I'm about to threaten lethal because of this play. Opponent's going to go off a bit here, and you're going to see some really fun moments. So he tries to kill this, or he does kill this. He trades the flyer, which, fine. That's not awful for me. I can live with that. I knew that would probably happen. Trades there. Again, I don't particularly care about that. That Ephemeral Shroud got me a ton of value. It basically blanked this card and then took out another. And now he's blocking me in. He's got another Lady Lock, and he's got this Murkblurred Devourer. And I'm like, oh, that's actually maybe a problem. It, give allied minions summon nearby, +1/+1. So again, low curve, let's summon lots of minions plan, and then run away, right? So I'm provoked up. I think that was a proper placement for him. You don't want him next to me, so I can just clear it with a Saber Spine Seal, because they'll both be provoked. That was a good play. But I'm going to get a little bit lucky here. Like, if I had to play this as is, because I know what's going to happen in a moment. It'd probably be drop the Healing Mystic, heal myself, pop the Heaven's Eclipse, because I'd have 3 mana left after that, see if I get a Ancient activation thing, the thing that gives this rush, and then teleport the Mystic away and hit him. But what will happen, it's a little bit better. Oh yeah, I go to clear the Provoker instead. I don't know if this is exactly the right play, but I decide that I want her cleared. Because again, there's been a lot of decks that duplicate her using this other card, and I just don't want them duplicating it because it makes things complicated and obnoxious, and usually turning off their nonsense is good. I should have figured out what I wanted to replace first before doing this, but, here we go. So I do that. I know I'm placing this. I place it out of provoke range. I heal myself. And then, yeah, I pop that. And that's maybe why I waited to replace, because I wanted to see what I was going to draw. And I get pretty lucky here. Because I drew Juxtaposition off it. You didn't see it happen so fast. So I swap. So what happened there is I played Heaven's Moon, and I drew Juxtaposition, which is a free spell, and I swapped this guy into the corner. That was basically a 0-cost removal spell. It will be multiple turns before this guy does anything now. And I'm once again threatening his ranged unit with my general. So that's why I like Juxtaposition as a tech card, especially in Songhai. Super easy to draw off of Heaven's Field, and that just massively shifted the tempo of the battle. Like, I was going to have trouble dealing with him. I probably would have dropped this on it his next turn. It was going to probably buff a whole bunch of units, and now it's off in the corner doing the thing. I ship out, yeah, my Pando Seal, because now I don't care about getting rid of him. I get a Mana Vortex, and I'm just going to pop it here. I figure that Mana Vortex at this time is not something I need. I don't need some crazy combo to go out. I need different cards. So I just pop the Vortex to cantrip itself. Gitaxian Probe, kind of. So now I'll draw 3 cards at the end of the turn. Let's see if it goes to his next turn. Cool. So this is my hand. I am now considering probably keeping the Spiral Technique. I've got this Mystic. If it survives, I've got a Mist Dragon Seal and a Saber Spine Seal to teleport it and do a bunch of damage. And I've got, 3 targeted removal spells, / burn spells. So my opponent's going to do, again, more going off. That's a smart move. That's the only move he can do. Maybe it was better to move it straight. Astral Divination, draw 1 for each card. So he's got 5 cards in hand right now. Now, this is where I think he screws up. He's going to try and get the value off this guy, and he's going to summon over here. I really, really think that moving himself backwards and walling himself in was the best thing to do. He's going to leave this alive. He knows that that's happening. Trying to get the value off this is no longer important. Moving back and making sure I can't miss Dragon Seal and smack him in the face for a zillion damage with some crazy combo is vastly more important than potential value if he's not dead. So again, he'll do this. All of that I think is a huge, huge mistake. He's trying to get combo value that he does not need right now. Again, another play. Look at all this draw. He's really digging through his deck. Another play. He's got to provoke on me, the 0-3, move it out of the way, drop something else. Okay, so I was like, oh, that guy is actually pretty good. This is a pretty good tech card against, Spellhai decks, obviously, and several... It's mostly good against Songhai, I'm not going to lie. There's not a lot of, Well, Songhai, Lionar has Holy Fire, Tempest. This is a pretty good card, especially for... Is it really a 1-drop? Wow. Yeah, I could absolutely see playing this card in certain metas, so that's a great play. I was like, oh, okay, that actually changes my math. I can't just murder him with Spiral Technique next turn. But he doesn't clear the Mystic, and he doesn't move back into the corner, and he doesn't surround himself. So, again, you've got to know what your opponent is capable of, and at this point, he should absolutely know what my deck is. I don't know if I'd assume they have a Mist Dragon Seal, but I'd assume they're Songhai, and Songhai is all about bursting you out of nowhere. Obviously, his version maybe isn't, but clearly mine is, so knowing that Spiral Technique's a card and 8 damage is possibly already gone from my life, I would be in the corner, bunkered up. He is not. So, do I ship something here? Yeah, I get rid of an extra Phoenix Fire because I'm like, I don't need it. I get a second Mist Dragon Seal, which is E. So, what do? I Mist Dragon Seal the healer. And I move it somewhere over here. Note, you cannot move it to the spot that it is currently on. I actually wanted this here, and then I cast the second Mist Dragon Seal on just for value, and realized I couldn't actually put it here, so I had to put it here and then move, which was a small misplay, but again, didn't matter in this case. But, little things, they add up. So now I'm going to just move right back and Saber Spine it. And now, boom, he just took 7 damage out of nowhere. So, yeah. That didn't need to happen. He could have prevented that. Well, honestly, it would have been hard because I probably would have just dropped a Phoenix Fire on one of the things that was blocking him so this could get in. But again, he's got Provokers that he dropped. He could have possibly set himself up, especially if it was in... Well, he can't get to that corner. So if he put up himself against the wall, surrounded himself, and put the Provoker here, he could have probably survived. Well, I'd nuke the Provoker, teleported there. Maybe not. But he could have tried. It would have been closer. As opposed to right now, where, okay, now he gets his turn, he's got all these buffed units, but realize that I've basically, with that one juxtaposition, removed 1, 2, 3, 4 cards from his deck. Or, that was a 4-for-1. So he replaces, moves the Maw. Again, that's been useless ever since I Ephemeral Shrouded it. Another Lady Lock, I don't care. Planner Scout, don't care. Covalent Scavenger, don't care. Hits me, moves him up, moves him in, gets another hit. This is also maybe a Mechazord deck, obviously, but I think it's just a 1-drop deck. I'm wondering if he runs enough, if he runs like 3 other Mechazords, maybe the Flying Airdrop one, just to get Mechazord possibly, but I kind of doubt it based on what I'm seeing. Moves everything up. One of those 4 units attack. So, okay, one of them got to play eventually. But, look at how good that juxtapose was. Yep, another Helm of Mechazor. Don't care. Doesn't do anything. Phoenix Fires to remove my creature. I was like, oh, okay, that's good. He got rid of my guy, because otherwise I could have maybe killed him other ways. And now the game's over. I have Spiral Technique. GG. Immediate murder. I could also have double Phoenix Fire. Dead. I have 9 mana right now, so I could have, looking at this, I'm just trying to point out other crazy things. I could, Okay, to be fair, I can't summon a unit. He's completely blocked me in, so that's actually pretty good of him. But I could attack this, then summon a unit, then give it haste, then teleport it over here, or then Phoenix Fire this, and maybe even this, and then teleport it over here and hit him. There's so many crazy ways. So don't think that things like this are super safe. You will find that most decks have wonderful ways of just wiping out this nonsense. Like this whole board dies to Plasma Storm. Well, okay, no, these two live to Plasma Storm. He also dies to, Tempest wrecks his board. Holy Nova probably wrecks his board and gets some kills. This is not nearly as safe as it seems. So lo and behold, coup de grace, well played. I don't mean that as like BM, it's just what I've always done, GG events of games, and then boom, and of course you tip. So I just thought this was a pretty good example of, hey, there's a lot of interesting strategy in how I played that, and I played that far, far, far from perfect, but it really showed off kind of what I consider some noob trap stuff. If you want to build decks like that, if you're a brewer and that's what's fun, by all means, go for it. I'm just saying, here's some examples of things you need to think about when you're building that deck. You might think, oh, this is going to be impenetrable, and then some Songhai jerk like me just burns you to death because I don't care about how many provoke minions you have. Or notice how hard it is to really cover yourself with provoke when like one ephemeral shroud can just shut off your super buff nonsense. So that's all I've got. I'll keep this one for me short, and hope you enjoy.